These are the funniest conversations in Joe Rogan history, so who better to start with than the legend Theo Von, who had Joe Rogan in stitches whilst talking about hats.
The worst is if you're jerking off with a hat on, bro. You're going to hell, I think.
Fedora.
Yeah, that's the worst, bro. That's the most French thing you can do.
Jacking off with them straw Kentucky Derby hats.
Yeah, what's the worst hat to jack off?
The worst hat to jack
Probably
off.
a top hat, because you have to balance yourself while you're jerking off. Yeah.
One of them chimney sweep hats.
The best would be one of those Chinese hats, bro, because if you squat down low enough to the ground, you can almost hide under it and jerk off, you know? Those things would be dope, bro.
The most confusing would be like one of them Daniel Boone raccoon caps.
Yeah, but that
you got that tail in your eye. You push you're blowing the tail's in the way.
Theo and Joe's deeply introspective discussion was certainly life-changing. However, it had nothing on the story that Joey Diaz told about the time he farted on the bus.
And on the way home, we got on the bus, and while we were waiting there, my stomach started hurting. Well, let me just take a chance.
Good move.
And I blew this fart, Joe Rogan. That was so bad. Right? We were on a bus, and people started running, you know, the school buses? People started running to the windows, right? To swing down the bus windows. But here's what gets better. I farted again. And the teachers were going, oh my God, he's changing flavors. But the worst thing was, the cheerleaders were crying. That's how bad it smelled. They were sitting in front of the bus going,
Wait a minute, he's changing flavor.
One of the teachers yelled out, oh my God, he's changing flavors. That's how bad these farts were.
That's your next t-shirt. Oh my God, he's changing flavors.
The whole bus stunk.
However, it was Elon Musk who showed that sometimes the funniest moments can come from the most serious questions.
We should do a flamethrower.
Does anybody tell you no? Does anybody go, Elon, maybe for yourself, but selling a flamethrower, the liabilities, all the people you're selling this device to, what kind of unhinged people are going to be buying a flamethrower in the first place? Do we really want to connect ourselves to all these potential arsonists?
Yeah, it's a terrible idea. Terrible. Shouldn't buy one. I said don't buy this flamethrower. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. That's what I said. But still, people bought it.
Yeah,
there's
they're not gonna
nothing I
listen.
could do to stop them.
If you
I
build
could
it,
not
they will
stop
come.
them. I said don't buy it. It's a bad idea.
How many did you make?
20,000
And they're all gone.
in 4 days.